Hey guys, it's Kelly and welcome to another Flossy Friday. It is May 27th, 2022, which is just so crazy. Potter is doing fantastic. Stella has been scaring me lately. Her kleptomaniac syndrome is getting out of hand. But today I was having a new washing machine delivered at the house, and while I was outside doing that for 30 minutes or so, she knocked all of my vitamins off onto the floor in the bedroom. And anyways, as I was collecting them all, I did call the vet to be like, can any of these hurt her, especially at her size? And the only one that I figured maybe she would have like actually have popped in her mouth and like given a chew and gotten some of it in her was a D3. So they said even at her size, the milligrams that I have, she would have been fine. So I found all but one pill, but it is one of the bigger ones, and I am going to be vacuuming later, but I found them behind random pieces of furniture very far away from the crash site. So it could honestly be anywhere. So I've been trying not to stress about that, and she's doing fine. She definitely did not ingest any of my vitamins, which is fantastic. So, but the vet did say that typically at the levels that any of the ones that I have are at, she would be fine, like maybe an upset stomach, but nothing lethally toxic, which is very good to know and to hear. So other than that, she's doing great. No, she's a handful and a hot mess, but I love her, and I was terrified for like a hot minute, but she's doing great. Work is going well. It's been busy, but it's going well, and life is just life. So let's just jump into it. I actually have some stitching for you guys. So the previous week I had done some quilting stuff, and then I got back a bunch of stuff from the quilter last Friday, I believe. And I have been working on a few of those items, and I've done a couple of things that I will show you. But I still have some stuff to do on those quilts that came back, but I'm still going to show you the progress that I have. And I have also actually been stitching, which is fantastic. So let's see what to show you first. I'll go ahead and show you this one. So I got this quilt back. This is my 30s pinwheel quilt. I did this in either 2008 or 2009. I want to say it was 2009, but I honestly can't remember. But some of the ladies in my quilt guild, and I was still in college at the time, they did what was called a charm school, and we got kind of like a little notebook, and I still have this. We got like a little like folder slash like notebook kind of thing full of patterns that you can use with charm packs. And I really wanted to make a 30s print, and at the time Doris in the shop had some 30s print charm packs, and I got three or four of them. I got four of them. I have one untouched, and then I have some more pinwheels because originally, or I have half pinwheels because originally I wanted to do a floating border, and I never ended up doing it. So I have these half pinwheels that I don't know what to do with them. But so anyways, this is now quilted, and I wanted to get the Baptist fan quilted on this, but Jamie couldn't get it to line up right because of the size of the blocks. So we went with kind of like just a meandering pattern. So like just a standard meandering, and the back I just put muslin on the back because it's 30s print with muslin. So I just went ahead and did muslin on the back to keep it simple. But it's mostly like the pastels and the blues and stuff, but you do have the splashes of the bright red, and there's even some of the 30s print in black as well. So here's my predicament and why there is not binding prepped on this yet. So I was either thinking, and these are cut way too wide, but these are leftovers, so I would just have to make them smaller to do the binding. But I was either thinking of doing the binding just in muslin, which would look totally fine, and it would kind of make it seamless from the front to the back. I have just enough of this to do the binding, but the color difference is kind of bothering me, but I like the idea of the look. I do know that if I try to over dye this though, then it might be too dark. But something that I am playing with, because this 30s print collection has black in it, I'm kind of, and she definitely does not have any of these fabrics left in stock, I am kind of playing with getting black. Waiting until next week whenever I get paid, going up to the quilt store and getting black. I think it might make it really pop. You can see there's like black stripes. This is the label for this one. So there's like little black and white cats on there. So you can see what the color difference would be if I used a more white background fabric. So it is pretty stark. Here's another one of the black prints. And then this plaid has black in it as well. So there's different, you know, and then some of the prints, they have black outlining and things like that. So I'm tempted to just get black, and not even like black grunge, just flat out black. That, or, ooh, I could do this because I have dye. What if I dyed muslin in black? It might come out like a grayish black, but what if I dyed this fabric black? That's actually a thought. If you have any suggestions or ideas or a thought on that, please let me know. I also got back my tablecloth. I'm so excited. I did get the binding on today. So the binding is patchworky. So this evening I am gonna go to the game store, and I'm going to work on flipping this over and whip stitching this down. And I'll probably also take a cross stitch and continue hanging out if I do happen to get this done. But I did make the binding patchworky, so it's a mixture of the tomatoes, the noodle fabric, and here's the next one, the green as well. So basically I just used the leftovers from the strips from the sides, from the borders, to make the binding, because it was the perfect width anyways, and it looks kind of cool. So some of them, they're the same color as what they are, but then they flip. So also the quilting on this is so amazing. It's chickens. She showed me the chickens for the 30s print quilt, which actually would have kind of been perfect because it's a 30s print quilt. And a lot of 30s print fabrics have like little chickens and little cats and little puppies and things like that. But she showed me this and she was like, the chickens would look great on it. And I was like, but what about the chickens on the food quilt? So there's literally chickens on a quilt covered in meats, cheeses, eggs, and all the things. So I'm so excited. I really want to try and get the binding whip stitch tonight at the game store, so that way I can wash it and get it put on my table by this weekend. I love this so much. I love this so much. But yeah, there's chickens. There's chickens on a quilt. So that's really exciting. I find it really exciting. Okay, so I have another small little pile over here. I have a pile over here. I also have a finished quilt top, which I'm super excited to show you. So I'm just gonna kind of like mix and match it. So some of the other stuff that came back from the quilter were my pillow fronts. And yes, I got my pillow fronts completed into envelope pillows. I kind of made the overlap a little too big, but you know what? They might not be super easy to get in and out, but it just means they're super secure in there. I have already washed them once, so they are super soft, and it also gives it that worn in look because it has been washed. So just to show you, this has not been washed yet, so it's less wrinkly. But if you want a good comparison of what it looks like before you wash it, I'll show you because of the muslin here. No wrinkles yet. No puffy wrinkles. Puffy wrinkles. So definitely tell once something has been washed. So this has been washed, but this pattern matches my bed. And this is one of the designs from a different quilt that I edited. I tweaked it just a little bit. I had designed this block for a different quilt. I tweaked it a little bit because I wanted different fabrics on here. So these are the 5 fabrics that I bought yardage of. And then I just backed them with some of those 5 fabrics as well. I have so much of this fabric left over of like the whole line. So this was the other one that she also did this with the same quilted pattern as the quilt. So I designed this one as well, super simple. It's the same 5 fabrics. And then these are the ones on the back. Again, an envelope finish. It has been washed. It looks great. They complete the bed for sure. Now she quilted this one and the runner for the dresser with a different quilt layout. And I think that's because the other one was really big and these were really like skinny. So I don't think she would have been able to get 2 full rows of it. So she went with a smaller flower, but here is the patchwork pillow. And I just did one solid, well, it's still an envelope, but I just did one print on the back for this one. But yeah, so this one's patchworky. And what I did with this one was I did a single square of every fabric from the collection plus muslin. And so this is, and I still have leftovers from all of this too. So I have a little bit, some of these I barely have anything left of it, and some of them I have a fair amount. But yeah, so this is one of every print from the line in one pillow. So super exciting that is done. Let me go ahead and show you the last quilted item from my quilter, and then I will show you the quilt top that I finished, and then I'll talk about stitching. So this is leftover binding from the main quilt, and I do have more of this fabric, but this binding is not long enough. So I left the tails. One, you have to leave tails anyways for whenever you connect it, but I left a pretty long tail because I'm going to have to cut out more binding. Probably, I could probably get away with 1 strip, but I might do 2 just to be safe. Or I'll attach 1 and see. But anyways, so I left one side hanging so that way I could cut out a strip, attach it, and keep going. So that way I can get the binding on here and ready to whip stitch. So you basically sew it onto one side, you flip it over, and then you whip stitch it onto the back. But this is going to be, it's gonna go on my dresser underneath the TV and like the stuff that I keep on my dresser. Because right now, to prevent scuffs and stuff on top of that dresser, I have a towel literally from the 70s. But yeah, but she also used a different quilting pattern on this one. So the 2 square pillows have the same pattern as the quilt. The long pillow has a different pattern, and this one also has a different pattern. So it's kind of fun. But yeah, These were the leftover blocks for making my quilt. There wasn't supposed to be any leftover blocks, but somehow I had leftover blocks. I don't know, but it's okay. I'd rather have too many than not enough. So I just have to cut out more binding for this, and then that can get done as well. All right, so actual cross stitch. So this week I got my temperature sals up to date to Tuesday, I think. Monday or Tuesday. I can't remember. I can't remember. But here is the highs. So we're definitely getting into some super hot temperatures. We added another red color. Not quite into the hundreds yet, but getting pretty close. We've had several 98s. But I added the fish bowl for this one. So you can see like where I left off. I want to say today's the 27th. I want to say I left off on like the 24th. I could be wrong though, but pretty close to. But anyways, here's the highs. So this is Stella's version of the temperature sal. And then Potter's version, all the paw prints are at the same point, but I haven't finished the fish bowl. So, well, I say finish it. I haven't started the fish bowl. So that's where I'm at with his. So, super exciting. The lows have been in the 80s and the 70s. So, all the green and yellow. All the green and yellow. So, yeah. I have to put the fish bowl in for him, and then it'll probably be about another 20 or so days. I'll show you on Stella's. So there's a couple more paw prints, and about right here, I can kind of like go down. I could do it now, but there's a little window. There's a little windowscape scene. Around the paw prints right here. So I'm gonna wait about 15 to 20 more days, and then I'll start working on that little windowscape as well. So super cute. I'm loving this. I am loving this, and I'm loving doing the two versions. It's so fun. And I don't remember if I've stated this, but I am going on a 2-day quilt retreat. It's local and it's not overnight. I go there to and from each day, but I'm going to be getting the fabrics to do a temperature quilt, and that's what I'm going to be working on while I'm there. At least that's the current plan. All right. So for Memorial Day, Elizabeth asked me, hey, can we finally start this? And I was like, yeah, we can. So this is Always Remember from Plum Street Samplers. I love this. I think this came out around Veterans Day last year. Yeah, I think this came out around Veterans Day last year. So around November. I saw it. I loved it instantly. I loved it so much. Look at the cute little bald eagles. And all the red poppies, and that house is just freaking gorgeous. So I did post a picture of my fabric and colors pool because I did change up a couple of the colors. I used my DMC chart because there was a couple of colors that weren't readily available in my box, and I have 53 other whips, so I wasn't gonna go dig around and find them. So I used my DMC color chart to figure out what was a color close in relation to the one that was called for DMC, because this is DMC, Weeks Dye Works, and Classic Color Works. So I'm doing it all in DMC, and I'm doing it on 32 count Lagana Pictureless Plus Feldspar. And I worked on it for about an hour yesterday, hour and a half at the most, and this is how far I got. About an hour. But yeah, so I'm really excited. I love this. I love this so much. So I'm working on this all weekend, as well as I have a ton of like random things to do around the house, yard work to do. So in between yard work, housework, tonight I'm working on the binding of these. I forgot to show you that quilt top. I'm gonna be stitching and doing that. Oh, also, dang. I had started working on the sugar pillow, the sugar swatch pillow. So here's my partial fronts for the sugar swatch pillows. So I got 2 packs, and my 1 yard of white is enough to do the fronts of all 4. And then I'm just gonna do like something like this, and I'm gonna get some like cool, I'm gonna get a couple of really cool Ruby Star fat quarters at the retreat from the quilt store next door, and do like a mismatch of the backs. But yeah, so that, or I don't know, I may put these together and do something completely different. But yeah, anyways, love these. Super cute little color swatch pillow fronts, which might not end up being pillow fronts. Also, really fun, but I'm considering repainting the wall behind me. This one's just kind of like thrown in there, but I am considering doing a dark color because the other walls are this tan color. And I think they all look pretty good with that. And it's just one wall. So I am looking into a new paint color. All right, let me show you this. So this is my quilt top for the collaborative quilt. I put a tiny little pinstripe in between all of the blocks. I think it worked super well. And then I was still able to do a like small border. I didn't want a huge one. So I still did the alternative layout. So here we go. It's gonna be really hard to show this to you because it ended up being bigger than I thought that it was gonna be. I feel like that's always the story. But yeah, I really like the little pinstripe. I feel like it broke up some of the darkness. I'm just gonna have to like show it to you in sections. But yeah, I feel like it broke up some of this darkness, you know, in the corners. And then it made, you know, the star blocks kind of just like floating, which I thought was really nice. And then for the border, also I obviously did it around the border, and it really makes the yellow border pop because then it's connected through the center. I don't know. I really like it. I love it. But this is my Civil War reprints quilt top from the Color of Connection quilt. I had to think about it. But yeah, that is all that I have for you guys today. I am hoping to have some fully finished quilts, like fully finished quilts, binding tacked down. I'm hoping to have 2 of them by next week. I'm hoping to have, you know, keep my temperature styles caught up. Hoping to have a fair amount of progress done on the Always Remember. And then the following week, I will have been to my quilting retreat. So hopefully I'll have a lot more fun stuff from there. I know there's gonna be a haul. Kim got in the Tiny Beast collection, and since I can't go down there quite yet, she did cut what I wanted and it's waiting for me. Tuesday, there is an end of bolt sale on Facebook that I may or may not participate in. But also I'm going to get more of the Texas fabric. I'm going to get the stuff to make the temperature quilt. There's so much stuff. So yeah, that's about it, you guys. I hope that y'all are having a fabulous month, end of month. My gosh, a long weekend. Let me know what you're working on. What do you think about my binding options? And I will see y'all next week. Well, next week or in 2 weeks, but I'll see you in the next video. I hope that y'all are well. Love you guys. Bye.